So you switched working, now you're working with Matt Jansen?
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, you started in November, so how's that going, mate?
It's going great. The thing about Matt is there's a culture around like growth. There's a culture around success where, you know, just working with him, he'll set goals for you. And it's almost, he'll set a goal that maybe you wouldn't think you could accomplish by yourself. You know, you tend to set more comfortable or what you would think of as realistic goals. When he told me, you should be 340, I'm like, whoa. You know, like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been, like, the most I've been at that point was like 315, and I was fucking fat when I was 315, like 3 years ago. So it was hard for me to envision, but, you know, I've just been on the plan. I've been listening to what he's saying. I'm training my ass off, and I'm up to 324 now.
Wow,
so
that's good.
We're getting there.
So what, because I mean, I saw you at the Olympia a few times, and I think the time that stuck in my mind was when we were, I think it was maybe at the end of the show or in the interval, by the toilets, by the main area where I think Samson was. And I was like, wow, I kind of like saw you fully. And I mean, because the thing is, you're tall as well. How tall are you?
I'm just under 6'2".
6'2", so he's a big dude. You know, Derek. Sorry, I got a guest producer as well today. I want to introduce Derek Clark as well.
How you doing?
So can you see Derek? Can he see you? Can you see Derek? Can you see him, Quinton?
Yeah, I can see him.
Oh, you can see. Oh, because I couldn't see in the camera shot.
I can see like a part of him.
Just his massive shoulders. So what were you weighing, say, at the Olympia then when I last saw you?
I was around 310, like a 308 to 310-ish. So I was still big. I'm just bigger now.
Jeez. So 324. Because thing is, I mean, like those body weights sound astronomical. But when you're a guy on your height, like I saw Samson at 330 and he still looked nimble. He still looked, you know, he didn't look fat and bloated, you know. So I imagine, and you don't look, do you know what I mean? You look like you're in good condition. Your shoulders are popping and stuff. You don't look like a big round blob. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? This
is honestly, when you're coached well and you're pushed to your limits, it's possible. I saw, Samson had an incredible offseason, and he didn't even have a lot of time either. He got up to 330. He looked incredible. His condition was so good at that weight too. Like, that guy improves fast.
So do you feel good like 324? I mean, I've spoke to Jamie the Giant before, and he said when I got to like 340, he says I didn't feel good. Samson said, you know, I kind of like, I feel okay, you know, I don't feel like I'm sort of, you know, he wasn't struggling with it.
So I remember I was talking to Marlene, right, and she told me, like, you know, the problems that they had when he got heavy. And it's funny because I'm having these problems too. I'll like sit down on a chair at home, just fall through the chair, you know. Like there's little things, right? There's little annoyances and stuff. Clothing, it's like so hard to find clothes that fit, especially in Canada. Most stuff only goes up to like 2X. So those are my problems. But in terms of my day-to-day life, my sleep, breathing, my training, I'm actually pretty good. Definitely got some more pounds to go before I feel like suffocated.
Be honest now, though. Have you broke the toilet?
Not yet.
340. Come on, we're going to break the toilet. Yeah. So, I mean, let's go back to your contest season last year, because I spoke to you about this at the Olympia. I really, really like what you brought to Tampa. That was the first, because you did Tampa, Texas, and what was the other one?
It was just those two.
Just those two, yeah. I thought Tampa, that was where you really peaked. And I think the image I've got in my head is that like side chest. And I said to you at the Olympia, I said that was where you got that fullness right and everything. But that was where I think I saw the big improvements over the previous year.
And before the Tampa show, I did Toronto in December. So I had about 7, maybe 8 months in between. So I only had like 4 months to grow. I didn't have a lot of time. I made some pretty good improvements. So this time around, it's anyways, we'll talk about last year. Yeah, it was good. It was good. That was like my best experience on stage. Tampa was so much fun. I think that was the best look that I brought. I think Texas, I was a bit flatter. Yeah. But Tampa was definitely a more full and better look. And yeah, just it's just bittersweet because I feel like I could have won that show if I was better, but it is what it is.
Tampa.
Yeah.
You did look really, really good in Tampa. In fact, I will say about Texas, I got a lot of shit for saying you should be Andrew Jacked.
Oh, because of conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know, at first when I saw him backstage, I thought, like, you know, you're looking at guys, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to beat this person, I'll beat this guy. I thought that because, you know, the conditioning. But when I saw him, because I was outside the top 4, and I remember, I tell people this all the time, they were hitting a back lat spread. So I was outside with all the other guys, right? The top 4 was posing, and Andrew hit this back lat spread, and I just saw all the muscles in his chest, his abs, everything just popped. And I'm looking from, like, you know, behind, I'm like, holy fuck, like that is just, it's out of this world. He has such crazy muscle.
Yeah.
So I understand why he does so well.
But I think the thing with Tampa is, like, it was nice to see guys that are actually getting bigger, but you managed to keep that waist absolutely tiny, mate. So, you know, hats off. I mean, how do you actually maintain gains whilst keeping the waist small? Is that something you train deliberately for or you shoot for?
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I just genetically have a smaller, like, I have a tiny stomach too. It's hard to eat. So it's not something I really need to focus on much, but when I get closer to a show, I just need to focus on abdominal control, you know, because even though the waist is small, it still doesn't look good if you're not controlling it on stage. And I feel like the smaller you can make it look, the more you can make it vanish, the better you're going to look on stage.
You've got to keep that X-frame, mate. Got to keep that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what's the plans for 2023 then, mate?
The plan is so far just going to continue to grow, aiming for 340. I believe I set an aggressive goal to hit it in March, but I don't think it's going to happen realistically. I think I'll hit 340 like in April or May, perhaps. And the idea is to just hold it and keep growing and keep refining the muscles, continue to build the back, fill in the gaps, bigger quads, bigger arms, bigger adductors, bigger hamstrings, you know, bigger chest, thick, dense back, you know, just everything, shoulders. And ultimately, you know, with being young and not having so many years training under my belt, I just need more muscle maturity. So I'm planning to take the entire year off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a chance that we aim for a show at the end of the year. It just depends.
Yeah. I'd maybe like to see you back in Romania, mate.
Yeah, I love Romania, man.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm looking for an excuse to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got that that Chinese guy, because they changed his name on the Instagram. They assume, what's his name? Yuming. The guy won the amateur, and then he got 7th in the open. He looks, I mean, he's just a little freak. I was messaging him. Yeah, he wants to come back at 240 because I said, are you going to do 212? And he says, no, I want to come back at 240 and do Romania.
Yeah, he was. Correct me if I'm wrong. He crazy quads, crazy like musculature, but he just wasn't very sharp.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember him. Yeah, that guy, incredible physique.
It's one of those guys that kind of like when he stands there relaxed in the lineup, you just think, oh no. And then when he poses, things just start to pop and happen, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see him bigger and sharper.
So you're at the Olympia, mate. What did you think of that? What was your kind of your biggest takeaways from that event?
Man, it's bittersweet. Part of me at the Olympia, like, I love bodybuilding. I'm a fan of bodybuilding before I'm an actual competitor. Yeah. So it was great to be around everybody, support everybody. But a part of me felt, you know, I'm like, man, like, I should have been here. So there's a part of me that, like, it kind of hurt a little bit. And I got over that really quick. It was just, you know, for a couple of hours on one of the nights. But the Olympia was interesting. You know, I'm a big fan of like the Ronnie Coleman versus Jay Cutler days. Yeah. You know, I'm a fan of the Dorian Yates era. You know, I'm a fan of the Phil Heath era. I'm a fan of all eras, to be honest. But specifically in those eras, the big guy was winning. The big guys were winning. So right now, the big guys aren't coming in or aren't complete enough yet. So the little guys are doing better. And I just feel like we need a good big guy.
Yeah. Well,
So
we've mentioned two of them, Samson and Andrew Jacked. I mean, I am so excited. The fact that we've now got some good tall guys coming through. Guys like yourself at nearly 6'2". You've got Andrew Jacked is an absolute giant at 6'2", and he looks it as well. Samson at what, 6 foot? Rafael Brandao, you know, there is a real kind of even though ironically the top two at the Olympia were like short guys, X212s. You've got a really good. I mean, Crizzo. I mean, he's tall. He's like 6 foot tall.
Oh yeah, he's massive. Yeah.
What do you think of him?
Oh, he's impressive. Like impressive. I was very impressed. So yeah, that's the thing. Like for me to. Listen, I think Derek is amazing. I actually picked Derek to win weeks before the show. Wow. I had that much faith in Derek. You know, I'm a fan of Derek. You know, I'm a fan of bodybuilding, fan of Haji. I competed against him in Vancouver before. He's incredible. But these guys are 212. Like, Derek literally just came from 212, you know? Yeah, he's going to keep growing. He's going to be very hard to beat as time goes on. But he literally just came from 212. And, you know, like, us bigger guys, we got to level up. You know, we can't let 212 guys, you know, beat us. But regardless, I think Derek, with more time, he's going to be such a threat. And I actually am picking him again to win this year's Olympia.
Wow. But the thing is, it's like with the Arnold and the Olympias to come, like the top two or the top three could easily switch to over 6 foot guys. Guys like yourself, guys like Andrew Jack Samson or Brandao or... You know, it's like that, and Crizzo. I mean, there's so much. I find it so unpredictable at the moment. You know, I don't think we're going to have any more 6 or 8 time Ronnie Coleman's. You know, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, it seems like it's just going anywhere right now, which is kind of cool. Like the most deserving person seems to be getting it these days. There's a lot of I really like Samson, man. I really like Samson. I really like. He's the most complete big guy. Yeah. And he just keeps getting better. He keeps getting better. If he's, in my humble opinion, if he's like 100% like peeled, 100% peaked, he'll beat all of them, in my opinion.
Did you see that video he posted? Him and Milos posted today, the one where he's in the gym. I mean, I've been messaging him all morning. I said, mate, I said the one thing I felt that you had missing was like Bonac level separation and that level of condition. I said, you've got it, and you've still got, and you've got 3 weeks till you step on stage. Yeah.
The thing is, like, he's got such good hamstring. Like, he's got good everything. I think it's just, there's just that one spot in the glutes. If he comes trident, I pick him over everybody. But that's just me being, like, very nitpicky. Yeah. I think he has a very incredible physique. Like, him and Andrew have my favorite physiques heading into Arnold by far.
Well, I think you, Andrew, and Samson are guys that carry a lot of size. I mean, like 300, you're close to 300 pounds, Samson and Andrew. You know, what are you, like 260, 265?
When I competed, like 265-ish.
Yeah, so you're not, and by the time you come back and by the end of the year, you could be, headed toward 275, 280. But my point is, you're all big guys, tall, wide, X-frame, but you're also very, very aesthetic. And I think that combo is what it's going to take to really kind of, take those top placings.
Yeah, Andrew's physique to me is the craziest one. There's just something about it that just it just wows me, I like that he is working with somebody different this time. Yeah. Trying a different approach. I see Psycho Lewis pushing him, and I'm excited to see what is going to come of that. But man, I'm just pumped. Yeah, I think bodybuilding is heading in a fun direction, and I really can't wait to see how Samson and Andrew fare. The cool thing is, we have similarities, but when I look at myself objectively and truthfully, they were a lot bigger than me last year. You know, like they were a lot bigger. So it just competing next to guys like that, it just showed me that I need to take time and I need to put the size on, and I'm just not there yet. I just wasn't ready.
But guys like you are the future, mate.
100%, man.
You are.
100%.
No, you are. It's true. I mean, you're 27, and I just said to Derek right before you came on screen, I said, oh, the best way to describe Quint, I said he's like a 6'2" Lee Haney.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, there's Lee Haney was retired but 31. shows you how different things are now, isn't it? How long it takes to get a really kind of like top level physique.
Yeah, it's a different ballgame these days.
But
it's.
So go on.
I love the journey. I like that it's not easy. I love that I have so much work to do. You know, that's what wakes me up in the morning. You know, losing is what makes me so motivated to put in work every day. You know, so I'm pumped. A lot of ground to cover.
Thing is, you got a nice frame where you know you can like a short guy. You know, they can max out a lot quicker than say you can. Do you know what I mean? Because at 6'2", there's a lot you can do with that physique. There's a lot of different improvements and, you know, and things you can change or different looks you can bring. You know, I mean, realistically, you could still be getting bigger for the next 5 years.
Oh, I will be.
Love it, love it. So, I mean, obviously, changing coaches, like you said, it's good to try things different. Is that giving you kind of like a? I mean, you're not short on enthusiasm, but is it kind of giving you like a new? Like I said, a different approach, maybe is it exciting? Is it for you now? Or?
So the thing is, and I have to preface it by saying, I always have to say this because first and foremost, Dorian is a good friend of mine.
Yep.
And he taught me so much. He taught me most of what I know about bodybuilding. And so I'm grateful for the time we spent together. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we've developed like a pretty cool thing together, you know, so I always liked working with him. I learned so much from him. I think he's a really good coach.
Yes, he is.
You know, I just came to a point where I just felt like there was a little bit more. I'm just being obsessive at this point. You know, I'm not being content. I'm being obsessive because one of the head judges told me at Tampa, he said, listen, man, you had the best physique on that stage, but you didn't win because you weren't on. And to hear that, I'm like, I thought I was pretty on, but I'm like, he looks at bodybuilding like he judges at the highest level. If I'm not on, he knows I'm not on.
Yeah.
You know, when I look at the picture, I'm like, okay, my glutes could have been tighter here. Like this could have been. So I'm like, okay. And it's just a matter of like chasing that 1%, you know, being obsessive and just being all about reaching my goal and whatever it takes for me to get there. So it was a hard decision to make because me and Dorian worked so well together. He was a great coach, but it was kind of like a leap of faith. You know, it's kind of like a leap of faith, but for me, it's good because it was just making the decision itself. It made me feel stronger mentally just by doing something that I was uncomfortable with. Yeah. And yeah, the guy's been pushing me, man. So it's working out.
Because I've heard very good things about Dorian, very good things about Matt. You know, I spoke to Sean Clarida and stuff like that, and it's he's like I said, he's another. You've not gone from a good coach to a sort of an unknown coach and a bit of a gamble. You've gone with someone that, like Dorian, has a good reputation and is, you know, is known for getting results. And he's very hands-on. He gets very, very, you know, close with his athletes and really gets involved and really supports them and stuff. So far it's been very good for you then.
Oh, it's been great. And I'm low maintenance too. So I'm not a guy, even if I didn't get much attention, I don't need it as long as I have the plan, as long as we set goals and, you know, and I have something to look at that I can follow, we're good. I'll get it done.
Yeah. And also going back to Dorian, I mean, you made big improvements whilst working with him. I remember obviously at the Romania in 2021 I was at, I mean, there was big strides in your conditioning, you know, especially the glutes, the hams and your legs. Yeah. Your condition was good. You just looked a bit, your upper body in that show just looked a bit flat, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think you struggled with, you know, because I think a big guy, like I've noticed with tall big guys, I remember Dennis Wolf, even Jay, even though he wasn't tall, you know, the really thickly muscled guys, the really guys with the big frames like yourself, you know, you have to come in full because otherwise, like you said, you do maybe look a bit lanky or, you know, because you've got a beautiful shape, beautiful structure, but like the difference between Tampa and Texas, you know, Tampa, you look absolutely bang on. You know, I love that look. Yeah. I love that look.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing. When I look at the pictures in Texas, I'm like, it looks small. But like my waist looked smaller too. And that part's good. But like the ratios looks crazy. But I'm like, I like the fuller look. You know, I just, when I hit the most muscular, my hands on hip, I just like how it looks way more in Tampa. Yeah.
Your lower body always looks on.
Yeah. The lower body's not, like,
no worries
that's not
there,
much
mate.
of a problem.
Yeah, no problems there. Like
it's the upper, but that's the thing, right? I'm searching for. That's like when I made the switch. I'm searching for the answer for that. Yeah. You know, I'm not accepting of that's just how it is. Like I'm more of somebody that always believes there's something that I could do to improve something. You know, like that can't just be how it is.
Yeah. Are you struggling with eating to get to 340?
It's a process, but I had a friend motivate me, and I changed my schedule around. I'm waking up early in the morning, and I'm knocking off meals earlier, which allows me to make more time to space meals out.
Nice.
So I'm on a much better schedule now. My meals are spaced out more. I could go for walks, and I do cardio almost every day, 6 days a week. So it's, even when it's uncomfortable, they're still getting in. Like, I'll get them in every single day.
So where was the biggest increase? Is it in like calories or certain like food groups or?
Boy, sorry?
Yeah, I mean the obviously you're having to change your eating to get your body weight up in the off season. Where did that come from? Was it increasing protein or carbs or calories overall?
This format, like, it's high protein,
right,
and higher fat than what I was used to. The carbs are, I think, around like 700. I can't remember what the fats are at, but the protein's like over 400. And so I've definitely had more carbs than this before, but the amount of fats I have, because fats are so dense, that's what's helping push things more. And it's different, but I like it because I find myself, when I have a lot of carbs, they tend to get pretty watery.
Yeah.
So that water weight leads to more lower back pains when I'm training and stuff. So I'm having a lot less issues with training these days, although I still have issues being big, but it's, I like the approach. It's been good.
I think for some reason, I think maybe the guys with the smaller waist as well have to be careful about eating too many carbs. So getting things like energy and calories from fats, is that maybe a better option than shoveling in the carbs? To try and get this. Yeah, that's just popped into my head.
It's got to be. That sheer volume isn't going to do anything good for your gut.
Yeah, because the thing is, you've got a flat stomach, but also it's very narrow, and I think you've got to keep that.
I will.
But at the same time, you've also got to get enough calories and protein in to kind of put the size on. So it's a very delicate balance.
Yeah, it is. It is. I just listen, my cardio every day. That's my cardio and walks. That's how I'm doing it.
Good. So let's talk about the Arnold, because obviously this is turned into, like, it's gone from being an okay Arnold to like something unbelievable. A lot of different types of bodybuilders, a lot of different types of physiques. You've got Sean Clarida in there. What's your take?
I think, just based on track record, how guys show up, and also how good they are, you almost have to pick Nick as the favorite. And if you don't, you're just not basing it off of what we've seen before. But I would, I think Nick should probably win. It's interesting. I wonder how they're going to judge Sean compared to other guys. I wonder how that's going to work, because I know he's going to be one of the most complete packages. He's just a smaller package than the other guys. Yeah. But I think Sean will definitely be top 3. I think top 3 will be Nick. I think Samson will probably come second, and Sean third. And the rest, I'm not too sure. But I'm excited to see Patrick Moore come back. Yes,
of course, yeah. So I'm thinking we've got Rami, we got Bonac, who was last year's runner-up. He's won it twice, and there's people saying people are saying, like, I know, and he did mess up at the Olympia. There was they came in flat. So 9th place isn't a reflection of how good he is. That's an off Bonac still making top 10. So shows you how good he is.
I actually forgot he was doing it. Yeah, you know what?
It's tough, isn't it?
Bonac.
It's tough.
I don't know, man. It's hard. If Bonac's on, he'll be in that top 3. He'll be in that top 3 if he's on. Who else did you mention there?
So I've got 8 guys in my top 3. Sorry, we got this guy in the top 3. Got that guy. Oh, he's definitely gonna be top 3. Yeah, I've got 4 guys winning at the moment.
Oh man,
tough, innit? And you got 2-time Mr. Olympia Rami, who, like, because I spoke to Chad today, and he said everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for the Olympia, and so obviously there's reasons. I mean, they always say that, but there might be legitimate reasons that they can fix now for the Arnold.
Okay, I mean, I'll give them the benefit of a doubt. I don't see why he would lie.
Yeah.
It's just with Rami's back, it did look like there's some serious muscle atrophy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. it looked like he had a bad shot in the glute that could be avoided. I don't know. There's been a couple. I don't know. I just lost. Like, listen, I'm a fan of Big Ramy.
Yep.
And I've always I like him as an ambassador for the sport. Very positive guy. He's not in my top 3 though. No.
Okay. It's crazy how you could be 2-time Mr. Olympia 1 minute and then boom, you can just tumble down, to like he was fine. I actually had Samson beat him at the Olympia.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, Steve Weinberger, that's the name, right?
Yeah.
He said that, I don't know where he said this, but he said it publicly somewhere. And he was saying that the issue that they have with Ramy, they saw that issue last year as well.
Okay.
But I guess they still gave it to him because maybe they thought he was still better than everybody that year.
Yeah.
But this year, it just got a little bit worse, and enough was enough.
But it wasn't just his back, though. I saw the triceps, the inner calf, the gastrocnemius, that had gone as well. I mean, those areas were gone,
The quads, there's, I don't know, something going on with the quads too.
Yeah.
There's a couple like things that were kind of suspect, and he wasn't on either. So I totally understood. I don't think he'll be that bad at Arnold, so I think he'll be better. I just don't know I don't know, because it's not my body. I'm not going through it. I don't see him every day.
Yeah.
But seeing the way the muscle looks like it's atrophying in the back, I don't know. I'll be surprised if, I don't know. That doesn't look like a good sign to me.
Thing is, like, you had Ronnie who kind of had his lat and his tricep, and then once the body starts to go, sometimes those things can be fixed, but other times it's just like, okay, you've got a peak, and then, like if Dorian had gone on another few years, maybe that would have happened to him as well. And Jay, when he came back, he just couldn't recapture that there was things starting to go on the physique, and it's hard to fix, really.
The one person recently who was losing something and then got it back, William Bonac.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago his quads went down, and I'm okay, he's getting older. Yeah. He got them back, man. He got it back. So it's possible. It's possible.
I didn't see what Bonac did last year, because those 2 Olympias, he went down to 5th, then to 6th, and I was like, okay, he's on the downward spiral of his, he's on the other side of the hill, and then boom, he works with Chad in 5 weeks, and we see an all-time best. Bonac probably should have beat Brandon, then he won the Boston looking the best he'd ever looked. So I suppose, I assume what you're saying is the same could potentially happen to Ramy.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Maybe he makes me look stupid and wins the whole Arnold. It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there was literally 5 or 6 guys that could potentially win. Andrew Jack, I mean, I've seen what he's doing with Aceto and Psycho, and I already see things happening, and I know it's videos and it's just the upper body. I'm telling you, mate, I've got to look at his Instagram. There's things I've seen going on in his physique now that I've never seen before. Samson at 3-4 weeks out looks like I've never seen before, so it's going to be interesting, mate.
Oh, man, I can't wait for it. You're going to be there?
I'm not going to the Arnold this year, but I will be at the Olympia.
Okay.
Are you going?
Yeah, I gotta organize it with my friends. We're gonna probably make a road trip or something.
Cool.
It's too good to miss.
Yeah. Exciting.
Can't miss this one.
Cool. All right, then, mate.
Man, I can talk about this all day.
Yeah, I know. Mate, I'm going to let you go because, like I said, I wanted to get a quick update because I wanted to really sort of focus on the guys that I've been bigging up for 2023. So I would love to, because I'll be doing live stream again, commentary again at Romania. So I'd love to see you there again, mate. And I'd love to see you win it and if it's a qualifier for next year, get a nice qualification for the following year or that year or whatever. But I want to see the 3.0 because we saw the 2.0 at Tampa. I'm looking forward to seeing the 3.0, mate.
Thank you, Giles. Appreciate that.
Oh, finally, Derek, anything you want to ask?
Just one question, really.
Close to the mic, Derek. I'm
so impressed when you said that you enjoyed the journey, right, of your bodybuilding career. Yeah. What time do you get up? What time does your day start?
So right now my day starts at 7 a.m. or 6:30. So I'll usually go to the gym, do some cardio, come back home, or I'll eat a meal, do cardio, then get back home, eat another meal, train a client or two, work out, and that's usually how it starts. And it's since I've been waking up early. Before I was waking up around 9:30, and I would just get up and it's like, oh shoot, I have a client in like 40 minutes. I have to squeeze a meal in, and it would suck. I would feel terrible. I'd rush to the gym. I'd have to down a coffee. I'd be so tired. I'd hate doing it. I'd hate the session. But now that I'm waking up earlier, like I'm enjoying everything.
That's good.
It's like you, he gets up at like crazy o'clock.
Crazy o'clock. Yeah, I used to start training at 6 o'clock. I used to be in the gym at 6 o'clock. That was the time I could fit everything in. So yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
cool. Excellent. All right then, mate. Well, I've been with my co-host Derek here, so I wanted to get him in on because if he's here, I've got to make him ask. I've got to ask him questions. I can't. You know, this guy's got a wealth of knowledge. So, Quint, mate, great to speak to you, mate, and have a great time at the Arnold. And like I said, I'm sure our predictions will be completely wrong, and it will be completely turned on its head. And but it's going to be an exciting one. And like I said, once again, I hope to see you on stage at the end of the year, mate. And all the best with this road to 340.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Nice to talk to you, man.
All right, then, man. I love these Canadians. They're so polite. All right, then, Quint. I'll speak to you very soon, mate.
All right, man. Peace out.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, and it is hot news for Season 5, Episode 19 of MD Globe Muscle. And for this episode, I have a different... It's not even a producer anymore. It's a co-host, because obviously last week, if you saw, Lauren, a lovely, lovely lady, Lauren Lotter, has a mic now finally. And because Lauren is studying very, very hard for a final accountancy exam, my good friend Derek Clark has kindly stepped in to save the day. So Derek, you gonna say hi?
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here, and I hope to input a lot of information and talk about what's the guess what we have on screen. So watch out.
Beautiful. Now, Derek, actually, if it wasn't for Derek, I would not have this studio, because how many nights did, well, I would say we, but it was me just sat around watching you, like agonizing and figuring out the labyrinth that is this studio. Because I tell you what, it's more complicated than we thought, wasn't it?
It was definitely more complicated, but we got there in the end with seconds to spare.
Yeah,
seconds to spare before we actually went live, didn't we?
Oh God! Oh no, I'm talking about all the weeks before, and I mean the chaos, but. You pulled it all together, Derek, mate. You know, you figured it out, because it was. I mean, it was tough. I mean, like I said, it was tough for me watching, so I can imagine it was tough for you doing it.
We had sleepless nights anyway. Definitely sleepless nights.
Yeah.
But we did it.
But yeah, so like I said, hot news. Everything you see here is all because of this man. So I'm eternally grateful, Derek. So thank you so much. And also, Derek as well, a terribly badass bodybuilder. So, I mean, I photographed, this is, okay, we've got the camera on there, yeah. See this guy here, the guy with the huge pecs next to all the little skinny guys. This is at the 1995 British Championships at Wembley. Yeah, I know, I was there. And I took this picture when I was 19 years old. I was sat next to Kevin Horton. I had my press pass for GQ magazine. And I remember when you came out, and I was like, hang on a minute, this guy's in the wrong weight class. Because you were 90 kilo, but to me, you looked like a bloody super heavyweight next to like guys who were basically 14 stone.
Yeah, 14.2.
Oh!
Yes, 14.2. I remember it clearly.
Yeah. And that was the year you did really well, because you got top 6 in the NABBA Universe, and that's right. You know, and the Pro-Am as well. You got some good places. Because I mean, when I moved down here, I knew of you. Do you know what I mean? I knew Derek Clark. Do you know what I mean? I knew, because I used to follow in on all the magazines, all the British magazines, and. You know, you were one of the original, like, kind of, you know.
Up-and-coming stars.
Yeah, my God.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, when I started training at your gym, and like I said, we've been friends ever since. And here you are now producing, and also not just producing, but like you saw in the interviews with Umon and Quint, you know, kind of a bit of a co-host as well. Thank you so much, Derek. So I really appreciate it, and it's great to have you here.
Been a pleasure.
And, and also I'll try and find some pictures of, because obviously the charity event, Unique Potential. Obviously, I bought Phil Heath and Brandon Curry.
That's right. And Kamal.
Kamal, yeah, of course, yeah. We brought Brandon and Kamal to your gym, and we all trained. And
that's right. Yeah,
and do you remember the night when Brandon was there? And we were all doing like a training session with Brandon Curry. Like he was at that time the current Mr. Olympia. This was in March 2020, just before the pandemic.
That's right.
And I said, Derek, I said, you're going to go train with Brandon? You were like, ooh. I said, so I literally went behind the counter of his gym and I just pushed him and I said, go and train with Brandon Curry, because not being funny, but there's probably not many opportunities you're going to get to train with a reigning Mr. Olympia in your gym.
In my gym. Oh,
what was it like?
What a night! What a night! It was absolutely amazing.
It's good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a night to remember anyway. So you'll never forget. I'll never forget something like that. It was absolutely excellent, and it was excellent at the charity too. I mean, he really positive, and what he shared with us at the in terms of raising funds for the charity Up Unique Potential.
Yeah,
was tremendous. Same with Phil Heath. He was amazing at the time.
What about that speech that Phil did because you basically organised, and we had the local mayor there.
Off the cuff.
Yeah, you had. There was like all these like kind of local officials and the police MPs, there and MPs and you were all waiting. And I pulled up and I remember because you were like, I think you honestly the way you reacted it's as if until Phil actually turned up at your place where you had this, the building. There was like tea and coffee and there was all these people there. It was quite a good crowd of people. I honestly, it was like you just think until it really happened. It's like you didn't believe it was going to happen.
I didn't. I was so pleased when the mayor came.
Yeah.
She came first, and then Phil came, made his appearance afterwards, and it was just
great.
The crowd was in awe. It was excellent. It was excellent from start to finish.
And he reeled off like what? A good 8-10 minute like kind of speech. It was a speech, but that was not rehearsed. You literally gave him a briefing.
Exactly. I just gave a short introduction, and then he just took to the mic, and it was just like
he got up to the plinth and the mic, and he just in front of all these people, and it was about his autism and one of his relatives with his brother or half brother.
One of his brothers. That's right.
Yeah, who had autism, and he really connected with the audience, and everyone was just like, wow. And it looked like we'd really prepared it, but literally we'd shown up. You'd give him a 2-minute briefing, and he just reeled it off. And I mean, the mayor was impressed, but it was. I mean, that was a really cool day.
That was just excellent from start to finish. It was just amazing. Yeah, really appreciate it. It's his time and what he said to the audience and what he said and what he brought to the table. It was excellent.
Brilliant. And obviously Brandon as well and Kamal there as well, because they came up and did the seminar, the charity seminar and everything, and obviously they didn't charge for that. There was no, Kamal drove all the way from that, it was about a 3-hour drive, so, I put him in a nice hotel and everything, but that was the least we could do really.
Oh, definitely.
So, so anyway, let's get on with it. And I will be firing questions at you, Derek, because I do want your expertise and your opinion.
Don't forget Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Don't forget Ronnie. Ronnie Coleman.
Shit! Yes. Oh, God. Hang on.
He was very supportive of that too.
Hang on. I've just remembered, because I was trying to think of the pictures from those charity events back in 2019 and 2020, but they're too far back. But I've just remembered there's one I posted very, very recently. So if you can switch to the Skype screen, Derek, I will show... Hang on. This picture of us. This was in last September. There's Ronnie. There we are. That's this.
Yes. Yeah.
This was when we picked Ronnie up. God, I put so much size on since then. Wow. I mean, that was only September. I've just realised how much bigger I am. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about Ronnie and you. So this is Derek here. So, and there's Ronnie we're picking up. So, because obviously you've spoke to Ronnie before. We've had him on the screen when we did Nothing But a Podcast, and that's in your car, isn't it?
It's in my car, yes.
Yeah.
Going out of London.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't
it?
Yeah, buddy. So anyway, let me show one more picture. So, and this was when we dropped him off at Heathrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. So what was it like seeing Ronnie then? Meeting him.
Absolutely amazing, and he had so much good things to say about the sports and about him. It was just amazing to listen to. I really enjoyed the time, the little time I spent with him. It was just amazing.
Because we had, like I said, you were doing the driving, because I was still kind of recovering, so I didn't really want to do that kind of longer drive. So you kindly helped us out with the driving, and we all got a nice hotel in London and everything, and you came to the seminar, and I just thought this will be a nice thing for us all to do together and stuff. And Ronnie, then Ronnie's got people he knows me, and he obviously knows you as well now. So yeah, he asked after you, Ronnie.
Did he?
Yeah, he asked after you. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And even though you did steal his shoes.
Yeah, I did. I did move to go to raffle off.
Yeah.
We're going to raffle off soon.
Yeah. So the seminar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to actually tell us about that? Because I've not mentioned that anywhere about the shoes.
The shoes.
Yeah, go on, tell the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
The story was I was in Ronnie's hotel room, and I asked him. I said, Ronnie, listen, can I have something to raise money for my charity? And he says, what do you want? And I said,
Yeah.
well, I want something. I said, I don't want a T-shirt or anything like that because people can buy a T-shirt. And he took off his shoes and he says, Derek, you can have these shoes. And he signed them.
Yeah.
We've got the video of him signing them, so we're going to raffle them off. Hopefully, it's going to raise a lot of money to start our charity up, which is Up to Unique Potential, looking after kids from 18 to 25 with learning disabilities. So hopefully, I hope you all guys, when we go out live with the raffle, that you do buy your tickets and support the charity. Thank you very much.
So he offered you the shirt off his back and you took his shoes.
I took his shoes.
And have you seen how big they were? They were like flippers.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Bloody flippers.